Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel on this late Saturday evening from Europe, Sweden. And I want to talk to you about something. I got my mind effed by a video that I watched by an investor who opened the video, or it was actually two investors who opened the video saying that stock valuations don't matter and they don't even look at them when they analyzed companies, and one of them doesn't look at it at all, and the other one is like at the bottom of the list. And somehow I really like, getting new ideas when you first react to like, what the F is this? These guys are like effing idiots and they don't know what they're talking about. And then you listen to the arguments and then you go, I never thought of it that way. And this kind of happened to me with this video. And it's somehow very important. And I'm still digesting this. I didn't come to final conclusions, but I want to share my thoughts that I have already now, and it's going to be a very interesting video. There's nothing else more interesting going on in the world, so I thought that I would talk to you guys about this. So please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you hate this video, that's okay too. Please let me know in the comments. So as I said, I got mind effed by this video because it completely went against everything that I thought I knew about investing, because investing is about valuation. So obviously when I first saw this video, I was like, these guys are the biggest idiots. Why are they even on YouTube? And who the F is following them? And then when I listened to what they were saying, it was very, very compelling. But granted, sometimes people make this mistake that they listen to people. For example, they listen to Warren Buffett and then they copy exactly what he's doing. And the thing is that Warren Buffett is a billionaire who is, when he buys into a stock, he basically moves the stock price. So he can't even buy into, like he couldn't even buy into Palantir because it's too small for him, right? Like he would move the whole market. So you as a small retail investor, unless you're a billionaire, then please, contact me in the comments. You don't have this situation, right? So you need a different strategy, and you're not really trying to save your money. You're trying to, really increase your portfolio. So you need a different strategy. So depending on why you're investing into the stock market. So I am investing into the stock market because I'm still young. I really want to blow up a portfolio. I can afford to take bigger risks. And I am in the super long term. So I want to find things, I want to go super nerdy on them and hold them for 10 plus years, right? And I do believe that exactly this is the point when valuations don't really matter for you. But I'm really still digesting what I saw in this video. And the guy's point was that in life there is black swan events. So those are events that, because when you look at a company, you do your DCF and you do your different valuation methods, and then you come up with a number of what that valuation is. But there is, just in our short lifetime, while I've been on the market, we have had COVID, we have had this insane inflation, we went through the great financial crisis, and none of these things were on your spreadsheets. Like if you did your spreadsheets, like these events were not there. But there is the reverse of these things also, which is like positive black swan events. For example, the market didn't give an F about Zoom's PE when COVID hit, and Zoom was the only one that could be used, or one of the prominent players in this field. So the company blew up, and this was like a reverse black swan event, which was also, it's impossible that this would be in your calculation when you're buying this company. And the thing is that most great investors, Warren Buffett, Jeremy Financial Education, Peter Lynch, I'm just throwing out names, but most of these people have a lot of small gains on a lot of stock, and they have a few that were like super mega home runs, right? That really made their investing career very outstanding. So you obviously, if you're too careful, you're going to miss these really outstanding, successes, and you are not going to invest into them because you think the valuation is too high. So some of examples of these black swan events that can happen. Obviously, COVID hit, and you had super stable cruise companies that have very good balance sheets, super stable business models, very solid dividends, and these companies were on the verge of bankruptcy, and I think they lost like 90% of their value during the COVID time. And the problem is that when they came out of COVID, they had to take a lot of debt to survive, so they were a completely different kind of beast when the market reopened. The same thing happened to airlines, and there can be geopolitical events, there can be, we all know, we all have all these examples. So then I want to give you some positive black swans, because this is also very interesting. So for example, so many people regret missing out Amazon, but Amazon was a freaking bookstore. A bookstore. Who the F would invest into a bookstore and think they are going to be the biggest company on the planet, right? It just doesn't exist on your spreadsheet. And they happened to stumble upon this thing called AWS, and now they're running like half the world's internet on this, and they're one of the biggest companies on the planet. Then we covered the COVID and Zoom example, and look at this, Tesla. Tesla in 2013 was a niche car company. They were talking about maybe one day reaching profitability, maybe one day reaching 500,000 cars production annually, right? Which would put them at a Volvo valuation, or, like maybe 20, 30, 40 billion valuation at max. Like that was your best case Tesla scenario. Granted, they were at 2 billion. So when they came on the stock market, it was still a good deal. But no one was thinking that Elon was going to wake up one day and say like, wow, we should, create self-driving cars. And I know a way how to solve this. And then the cars can be made into robotaxis. And then he's like, okay, we can build our own batteries, make these, gigafactories, and then in the way of making the gigafactory, he realized there was all these production inefficiencies, and he can, make a super cheap car. And I really witnessed this, and nobody understood, not nobody, but a lot of people were laughing at Tesla when they were building the gigafactory. And they were calling Elon an idiot for doing that, the full self-driving, we all know these stories. And the truth is, even in the future, we don't know what else this guy might come up with. But the point is, when you were doing your calculations at that time on Tesla, it's impossible that you had these in your valuation model, right? So we went through this exactly. Oh, wow, I went ahead of my scales, on my slides. So here's the thing. If you look at the biggest winners, Apple, Tesla, Microsoft, Amazon, so these companies, if you bought them 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it practically doesn't matter what price. Even if you bought Amazon, I heard this number that if you bought Amazon at the top at $19.99 and you just held it today, it would be a 43 bagger for you. And that's at the worst possible valuation that you could have gotten. So the only mistake that you could have as an investor regarding to Amazon is to not have the stock at all. And imagine that if you invest into 10 companies where you know that this business model is very promising, you know that management is good, you know they have a great future, and 9 of them fail, but on your last one you still get a 43 bagger, you're really well off. You did very well as an investor. So this thought process leads to 2 very sad truths about Palantir and Tesla. And as I said, I'm still digesting this. So when these stocks become 10 baggers or more, and I believe Palantir can become that, it's pure luck. It doesn't have to do anything with me. It doesn't have anything to do with you. It doesn't have anything to do with our stock picking abilities. Okay, maybe a little bit. But it's not something that you can predict, and you cannot really take credit for this. So when I invested in Palantir, for example, I had no effing clue that ChatGPT would come around, which would bring huge attention to all the companies that do with AI, and it would super accelerate every company's transition into AI. And then I had no idea that then, as a response to this, Palantir would develop a whole new AIP platform, and they would do it in record time, and they would have record demand for this product. And there's so many other things like this that Palantir can pull, and I have no idea, and it's not in my table, right? Then it's the same thing with Tesla. When I first heard about Tesla, I didn't know that they were going to come up with FSD. I already had Tesla, I think. No, I didn't have Tesla, but you know, they came out with the Tesla bot. That's out of nowhere, and people still don't know even where to put it. It's still not in any of the tables, right? And then this guy, Elon, he can come up with so many things. He can surprise us. So you as an investor, you cannot really take credit for this when this happens, because it was not you. You couldn't come up with this in your valuation model, because these are like positive black swan events and positive turns that happen in the world. But then there's a second sad truth that comes with this, is however sure we are that, you know, Palantir is the next, 10-bagger, and Tesla is the next, biggest company on the planet, 10 trillion valuation, the first company to hit this, we can't predict that it will happen, and these companies can fail due to things that we don't know. You know, as ridiculous as it sounds, these companies can be out-innovated. There can be a new product on the market that is just, you know, way better. What if somebody comes up with a self-driving VTOL car that is $100,000 or $10,000 to produce, and nobody needs a driver's license, and they can just, you know, 3D print it, and they can just flood them? I don't know. I mean, the point is, we don't know what we don't know, right? So it even sounds ridiculous, but there's so many things that can happen. And this we also have to face. This is in the cards when you're investing into stocks. And I think that it's stupid to have your portfolio into 1 to 2 or, you know, just a few companies and give way too much weighting on that stock, right? And look who's talking. I am someone who currently has, I think, 70+% in Palantir. And I am not going to sell Palantir. I'm so bullish on that company. It's ridiculous. But if I truly look at this, if Palantir becomes a 10-bagger, it is because I got lucky. It's not because I could have predicted it in my valuations that I share with you guys. And there is a risk that it never happens. So I do need to diversify. And the way that I'm going to do it is that I'm going to send more money to my broker portfolio. And I might not be able to stop myself from buying a little bit more Palantir, but most of the new money is going to go into other stocks to diversify the portfolio. And as the time progresses, those other stocks will, you know, grow in weighing, and Palantir will lose its weighing in my portfolio. So I'm going to put this video that I watched in the link in the description box below, so you guys can also watch it and let me know what you think. I'm still digesting this. This is still new for me, but I really like to get these diverse opinions that really make you think and make you a better investor, because you can have very, very different viewpoints. So the point is, if Tesla and Palantir is going to be the future and the next 10 baggers, it doesn't matter what valuation you pay today. And if it happens, it's not because you were a good stock picker and you're a genius, or I'm a genius, even though I would like to think that, but unfortunately that is not the case. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Let me know what you think about this very late Saturday night video. Follow me on Twitter, Vince is @bullish. Say hi to me there, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.